Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Overlap Podcast with me, Sid Sexton, and my good friend Keith Glines. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
Yeah, and this is a quick hit, and it's episode 134. So quickly, the Overlap Podcast is where we discuss and study the overlaps between work, fitness, family, faith, parenting, and leadership, and with the idea that becoming better in one aspect of life helps you become better in all aspects of life. And we, with that, are simplifying big business brilliance. Not that we have any, but we listen to those people. And we're, boiling it down for small business leaders and really leaders in life, which sounds corny, but you get what I'm saying, So with that, quick hit today, the idea is don't do $20 an hour work. Don't do $20 an hour per hour work. And that concept comes from this idea that most people listening to this is an assumption. I think this is well-educated and well-founded assumption that most people listening to this podcast have aspirations of becoming something more than what they are today. And listening to this podcast, they feel inspires them or it educates them in a way to help them get to whatever the next level is for them in whatever endeavor that is. Is that a fair assumption to you, listener, and to you, Keith Glines?
Yeah, definitely so.
Okay. So if we're going to move forward with that premise, then the idea here that we would like to discuss in a quick manner, because we could go off on this, but I think it's just exposure at this point to get you thinking about what are you doing that is something that you could pay someone else to do that would free you up to be doing something that you're way better at, that you can generate income for your organization, your team, your household, whatever, that is that you're being held back because you're having to do all this other $20 an hour stuff. And the $20 an hour stuff is just kind of a threshold. If you'd like for me to work that math out for you, $20 an hour times 2,000 hours a year, kind of an average work year, equals $40,000. You may be listening and saying, well, Sid, Keith, I'm not making $40,000 an hour right now, or $40,000 a year right now. So I need to be doing it all. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't.
Or maybe you just need to figure out what that hourly rate is and say, can some of the tasks that it's taking my time where I could grow whatever I'm doing.
Yeah. Could you do twice the amount of business if you got someone for $18 an hour, do that $20 an hour work that freed you up to bring in more business?
In my case, I was holding on to stuff that I was bad at.
Yeah.
What are you bad at?
Yeah.
Like I should not have ever done bookkeeping. Ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Look, and there's tons of nuance to this, because I would say that I'm not the best bookkeeper, but I did it for a number of years. And what it did is it helped me to learn my business and the books and the way money flowed through it better than had I not done it.
No, I think I definitely think that you should, whenever you start something, you should definitely do all the tasks. I just stayed way too long.
There you go. And I think that's what, and that's really what I'm trying to lay the groundwork here, is to shoot holes through the immediate reaction to this from a certain group of folks that say, well, Sid, Keith, I have to do everything because I'm just starting out. And I'm going, great. That's perfect. That's probably exactly where you need to be. But in 3 years from now, in 2 years from now, hell, maybe 9 months from now, maybe you don't need to be doing this. So what could you do to get out of this? I say once a quarter, you should be writing down all the things you do every day. These are my daily tasks. This is what I do. This is what I do every week. These are my weekly tasks. This is what I do every month. Close out the books every month, whatever. review finances, put the reports together. Maybe I send a thank you card to every customer. I don't know what it is. And this is what I do every quarter. This is what I do every year, into the year. What are the things that I'm good at? What are the things that I'm bad at? What are the things I like to do? What are the things I'm okay with doing? What are the things I hate doing? And just start sorting those things out and then seeing if there's some stuff on your plate that maybe you are good at and you like doing it, but it's $20 an hour work. Maybe it's stuff that you are not good at and you don't like doing, and it's $20 an hour work. Could it free you up to do $50 an hour work? Could it free you up to do $60,000 or $60 an hour work, or $150 an hour work, or $300 an hour work? And I think hunting for a new business, building new systems that make your organization run more efficiently, building a team, training a team, those kind of things, those things pay dividends and return, give you returns years and years beyond the amount of time that it took you to just develop it.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about one of our newest sponsors, Red Branch Outdoor Living. They create environments to bring people together by providing a turnkey solution for outdoor living with remarkable customer experience. They specialize in outdoor kitchens, pavilions, patios, pools, spas, and fire features. And they do it with integrity, innovation, and being remarkable. They did my outdoor space, and it turned out amazing. Check them out at redbranchconstruction.com.
Are you a business owner looking to overcome growth struggles? That's probably why you're listening to this podcast. But if you need personal help, look no further than Rick Miller with Pro 356 Consulting. You've heard about him a lot on this podcast. He's the Yoda of business, and he's here to help you achieve success. Pro 356 Consulting helps leaders like Keith and I navigate through challenges and achieve real sustainable success. Rick has over 30 years of experience helping businesses develop a balanced approach to growth and personal development. He believes in the power of people. He focuses on employee engagement, strategic planning, and servant leadership to help you unlock your company's full potential. Don't let growth struggles, personal or team-centric, hold your business back. Contact Rick Miller at Pro 356 Consulting today to start your journey toward success. Visit pro356consulting.com to schedule your consultation. Look, not all of you have to deal with workman's comp, but those of you that do know that it's time-consuming and it's a headache. Insurance in general feels like something that happens to you rather than for you. But partnering with someone that really knows their stuff, like Chris May with LTN Insurance, you've heard him before on the podcast, offers you the opportunity to regain control of your insurance. By collaborating with Chris, you have the chance to craft a personalized plan that ensures you receive optimal coverage at the best price. At LTN Insurance, their foremost core value is centered on education rather than sales. Their core value actually says, "We don't sell, we educate," because they truly believe in empowering you, the customer, with the knowledge to make informed decisions about your insurance. That's whether you do business with them or not. They want you to be informed. So you can trust Chris and look him up, give him a call, or go to the website ltninsurance.com.
Gino Wickman in his book Shine has a great process to figure this out.
Oh.
And do you remember when we were at the conference and he talked about the 100%? So what's your 100%?
Yeah, like that's how many hours you want to work?
How many hours you want to work?
Yeah.
And what do you want to make?
Yeah.
So if you back into that, you could take your current, what you're making, what your company's doing.
Yeah.
And you could say, okay, where do I need it to go to get to the goal, my 3-year goal or 2-year goal?
Yeah, my 3-year goal is I want to make $75,000 a year.
Yep.
Okay.
And then how many hours you want to work?
I want to work 2,500.
2,500?
Because,
Yeah, because you want to work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
So 75,000 divided by 2,500.
Yep.
That's $30 an hour.
So what are you doing right now that is less than $30 an hour work?
Yeah.
And so that helps you get there. you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that process, to be able to see it on paper, helped me more than anything with that.
Gotcha.
So it let me know where I need to focus.
I'm just doing the math. What if it's 2,200 hours, you know? But
yeah.
It's $34.90, by the way. 9 cents.
Yeah, so if you want to, and this is where a lot of entrepreneurs we meet are, they say, I'm just working too much. I'm working too much. Well, what do you have to do? Take this process. What do you have to do to be able to scale that back? Who do you need to have to bring in? What's your hourly rate?
Yeah, and especially in like your world, and it's bleeding over into my more blue collar, more traditional kind of stuff. But like, there's all kinds of tools out there that I don't think people look into very much, like virtual assistants.
Yeah,
you know, it sounds like something that, and this is the genesis, or this is really at the core of what this podcast is about, is taking big business stuff and going, no, you can use it too. You know, if you're a solopreneur, you've got 3 people in the field and it's just you or whatever, you could get someone to manage your calendar. You could get someone to manage your emails twice a day and put it in a folder, only the ones that you need to see, you know. How much time is that freeing up? You could get...
shout out to Cassie at Assist Pro. I promise I'm going to respond to you on LinkedIn.
I actually use Katie through Assist Pro. Forrest and I both do. And then Justin down in Foley uses a lady named Maria. Either way. So, you know, those are things that don't cost as much money as you would think. And they free you up tremendously.
Yeah, and that's something that you may not be bad at, but maybe taking your time.
Yeah, it just sucks your time.
But I think initially, when you're starting out, you need to look at, okay, where am I costing myself money? Because if I look back 2 years in, I was probably costing myself money in most things administrative. So how do I backfill the administrative?
Yeah.
And how do I just work on, like, what I like to do is get the business.
Yeah.
So how do I do more of that?
Freeing up your time.
Right. Freeing up the administrative time. Because I think administration takes a lot, like, I always talk to you about your early days, and you were like, I would go home and I would do plans all night long.
Yeah.
And I would get up and go weed eat.
Yeah.
You know?
And then Saturday was meeting customers. Sunday was for billing.
Yeah. So what could you have done 2 to 3 years in where you probably could have accelerated growth early on?
Could have hired an office manager quickly.
Yeah.
And back in 2005, could have hired someone for $14 an hour.
Yep.
I waited till it was 2006, so I waited a year. But I got one relatively early. And that changed everything.
But how many business owners have we talked to that has not done that? That just me
that changed
shoveling
everything.
Away, me in the office.
That changed everything.
Yeah.
To have someone just there, and I think the first one that came in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know, which worked well for her schedule and everything else. And, you know, return phone calls, set appointments, you know, did billing, did bookkeeping, you know, sort of like girl everything. And then we grew and needed someone else. So I will say this. So there's that.
In my world, I should have gone to subcontractors way earlier.
There you go. Subcontractors. I was going to say. And subcontractors there's a bunch of them. Let's say you need to take some data from an old software and it's in like one of those big database sort of dumps, right? And you need to sort it into something else and get it into something or whatever, right? In what everyone thinks is, oh my God, that's going to take me forever. Who can I do? You know, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to grind on this, you know, at nights and weekends. You've heard of Upwork or Fiverr or any of those other things.
Yes, I use both of them.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar, people, there's stuff out there. Sites and I guess they're platforms called Upwork, where you just look for someone that does something like that. You contact them, you tell them what you got, they give you a price.
You can literally go on there and look for any administrative task a business needs.
Yeah.
And it's there.
Yeah.
And people, you say this all the time. There's some stay-at-home mom that loves Excel spreadsheets.
They love it. And they want to drop their kids off, go do yoga at 10:30, After they've had a latte, they want to come in, grind on some work till about 2. Then they'll go and pick up their kid and, they finish out their day. And they'll charge you $400 to get whatever that work is. That's going to take you 4 weeks. Maybe it's $800, maybe it's $1,200, whatever. I don't know. You can make the decision of how much time is it going to cost you and is it worth it? But I'm saying that there's tons of options out there to delegate that type of work and free you up to do. And, we talk about this all the time, that book 10X is easier than 2X. And, they talk about, focusing in on your 20%. You should be focusing in on your 20%. What is it that you're really good at that brings real value to your company or to your family?
But you made a great point when we started the podcast, or maybe before, that you kind of got to do all the tasks to even know the 20.
You do. And I kind of want to make sure that I keep repeating that this is not a big business podcast. This is for, regular folks that have a pressure washing company, or maybe they're a remodeling company, or maybe they are, they've got 5 cleaners or something. They do commercial cleaning. I don't know. You kind of have to do everything, I feel, to understand what the business is and what the systems are needed to sort of get it to someplace. And especially if it's your first or second business. If you've been running businesses for a long time, you've got a foundation of how things work. Cool. I think you should do everything from the cleaning to the bookkeeping to the billing to the marketing to the estimating to the business leadership, running operations, doing the scheduling, all that stuff. So you've got an idea what you're good at and what you're not good at. And then when it comes time to hire someone, you kind of got an idea of what kind of person you're looking for.
I started with the things that frustrated me most and took the most time.
You started delegating those out?
That did.
Yeah, that's the low-hanging fruit. And it really, it changes things super quick. Super quick. You've got much more freedom. Once you've found someone to do that work, you've trained them up on what what the outcome is you're looking for, and then you've got it handed off and it's coming back and it's looking good and you're free. Oh my God. That's the good stuff right there.
You know what I struggle with though in the delegation process early was, and this is where I failed a bunch, is the clear instructions on what I needed.
Oh, yeah. Are you saying what the outcome is you're looking for?
Right. The outcome that I'm looking for and the task that I needed done. I knew the task I needed done, but I didn't know how to clearly verbalize.
That's a good one. One of the things that I've learned is I start with the end in mind, like this is where I'm trying to get to. Here's how I've done it before in the past. You may have a better idea of how to do that, but this is what I need. I need these numbers in this way by this time. Now we are very clear about what I'm looking for. I also give you an idea of how I did it, but leave some opening for if you've got a better way or whatever. I'm good with that, but I want that outcome.
Right. So outcomes would be important there.
Outcomes, yeah.
And I probably just said, hey, I need this done, and I didn't give the outcome.
The outcome, yeah. What am I really looking for?
Yeah. I think I wasted a lot of time not having clear, defined job descriptions.
Yeah.
Would be it. Like I think you need, even for your subs.
Yeah.
What is the job description?
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that.
And let me give you a tip.
Okay.
ChatGPT is great at defining outcomes.
Okay. I have not.
So if you need a tool, if you have an administrative need or whatever, you can place that in and it will give you exactly what you need.
Huh. Interesting. There's another hack.
Another hack.
So
you're starting a business, or you've been in business a year.
Okay.
You're doing everything.
Okay.
How do you define those things that are holding you back? Or how do you find them?
I think number one is you make a list of all the things you do without any sort of without sorting them from the get-go, just the list. Free your brain up to just write the list. Then come back and cull the list. Like, really, like, go back and start sorting them. But make the list first. Like, try to be as unbiased about it at all. Just on Monday morning, I meet the team and that, and we talk about this. Then I go and I answer, then I check the emails, and then I check the voicemails, and then I ensure that all the routes and the time gets entered. Then I do billing for the work that was done Thursday through Saturday. Then I go and whatever, you just go through those things and you write them down. You make a list and you take a good amount of time to be pretty thorough. It might take you 30 minutes. It might take you 90 minutes to write that list. You can keep adding to it as you're going through it and culling it out, but write the list and then start figuring out what are you not good at and what would free your time up. I do like the idea of getting rid of the stuff that I'm not good at and I don't like.
Yeah. I just gave a task away that I'm actually pretty decent at.
That's when real magic happens too.
And it's like, so I call myself a communications kind of guy. That the communication side I've always done, but I just kind of hired a communications director, and that's been great. And she's responsible for like anything that goes out, social media, newsletters, correspondence. But, I'm in the business of awareness, so it's more in the publishing world, and in the startup world, it's kind of all, how do we get our message out? Yeah. And I guess in all businesses it is too. But that was one thing that I had kind of been one of those little precious.
Holding on to,
mm-hmm. And she's way better at it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. So, what are you doing, listener, that is holding you back? What are you doing that you're not good at and you don't like? What are you doing that's keeping you from getting to where you're trying to go? We didn't really talk about this, but there's overlaps in life too. Like, maybe you don't have to stress out this week because it's super busy about laundry. There's a service that will just, it's called Hamper, man. It's pretty great. They give you a bag. You stuff it all in there. You use the app. They come, you set it out on your front porch, and they come pick it up and they bring it back the next day. And it's like generally 2 or 3 loads in that bag. It's pretty good.
You want to talk about making your wife or your happy?
Yeah.
Get your own laundry done.
Yeah. So
wash your geese. Get somebody else to wash your geese.
That's true. I was about to say geese and rash guards, man. If your gym, if your academy has a laundry service, that's a good one to just turn it into them and they put it back in your cubby all folded and clean. Ooh, yeah. But maybe you're not at that point yet in your life. Maybe you're not. Sometimes those options are not available to you. I'm just saying, a couple times, maybe 4 times a year, quarterly, you should review what you're doing, what's holding you back from getting to where you're trying to go. And I would say that everyone complains about where they are in life, and not everyone really understands how much control and how much agency they have actually over their life. And if they started participating in that and using this exercise, you would get to where you're trying to go faster. You would feel freer, and you would have a lot more joy out of life, I believe. Once you get over that startup stage, I keep going back to it. There's no substitute for hard work, but once you get to a certain point, let's start working smarter, not harder.
Yeah. So with this communications thing, I cringed the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, because it wasn't what you wanted to be. It wouldn't have been what you liked.
Well, and after writing the check.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'd be like, Yeah. But then after the second week, I saw the first job come in. And I was like, she just paid for herself. And so.
Yeah.
So I would say keep an eye on the ROI. I know we talk about a lot about the return on investment, but you can track that.
You can. But I think once you start down this path, you're gonna know pretty quick.
Yep.
You're gonna.
And peace of mind sometimes is worth it.
Oh my God, it really is. You don't need to make all that money. You can spread it around to have a little bit better life.
Yep.
All right. So quick hit, episode 134. Don't do $20 an hour work. Really, just don't do the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. That's holding you back from getting to where you're trying to go.
Pick up the book Shine.
Yeah, the book Shine. Yeah. 10X is easier than 2X. 10X is easier than 2X by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Sorry, I said Daniel.
I'll link both of those in the show notes.
All right, there we go. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully this was a quick dose of inspiration and education, and hopefully we were giving you, some quality content that keeps you engaged and keeps you inspired moving forward in life.
Hey, and if you implement this and hire someone to do your admin work or something like that, let us know how it goes and send us a message.
That would be cool.
Yeah, talk to us.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Sid and Keith, when I was on your podcast, I shared my story of how I was $250,000 in debt, and then how I turned my business around and grew it into a highly profitable multi-million-dollar lawn and landscape business. I'm Steve Bousquet, and we've created a program consisting of courses and coaching that guide people through the process and tools I use to turn my business around and grow it into a highly profitable multi-million-dollar lawn and landscape business. You can find out more how I did this by visiting greenprofitacademy.com or by going to Amazon and buying our book, Profit First for Lawn Care and Landscape Businesses, right on Amazon.
Hey there, listeners. I want to give a shout out to a friend and sponsor of ours, Chris Drogmiller from CMD Fencing. Let me tell you, I've had the pleasure of working with Chris personally over the last 3 or 4 years, and I've never encountered a fence contractor who excels in communication, craftsmanship, and timeliness like he does. Chris always delivers. I mean it. Fair prices, top-notch work, always on budget, and the best part for me, always on time. So if you're in need of a fence company to help you with a fence or any other outdoor wooden structure, give Chris a call. You won't be disappointed. Get in touch with Chris and let him and his team take care of all your fencing needs. CMD Fencing.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about my friend Wes Cody. He's the president of C2 Wealth Strategies, a financial advisory firm dedicated to providing personalized solutions for your financial needs. Wes and his team of professionals are passionate about helping clients create wealth and achieve financial freedom. At C2 Wealth Strategies, they believe in taking a holistic approach to financial planning and are committed to building long-lasting relationships with their clients, ensuring their financial well-being every step of the way. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Contact Wes and C2 Wealth today at c2wealth.com to schedule a consultation. Let Wes and his team help you build your financial future.
I want to take a moment to talk about someone who's been instrumental in my personal and business success. That's Johnny Barranco and his team at Barranco & Associates. For over 7 years, Johnny has been my go-to accountant and financial consultant. I can tell you that he's more than just a tax preparer. Johnny takes a holistic approach to all my financial dealings, aligning them with my long-term plans and personal lifestyle. I've recommended Johnny to several friends throughout different business groups around the country, and the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional. His expertise and service are top-notch. So if you're looking for someone who not only prepares your taxes, but also helps you strategize for the future, Johnny and his team at Barranco & Associates are the ones to call. Trust me, you won't regret it. So contact Johnny Barranco today and take the first steps towards financial peace. You're not going to regret this.